get a job, and she was like, no, don't get a job. But I'm like, you just said I gotta pay for some bills, so how am I supposed to pay the bills without no jobs? You
bust down, Barbiana, bust down, Barbiana. Bust down and kick that shit up. Bust down and kick that shit up. Bust down and kick that shit up. Bust down and
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's the one and the only Mimi, and today's video is going to be a story time video. But first, if you're new here, make sure you click that red subscribe button. We're trying to get to 2K beautiful subbies. I know we can do it. And make sure you click that like button, because I guarantee you're going to want to see more of me. So this is a story time about how I got fired, bitch. My fucking boss from hell, bitch. Yes. So I got introduced to this place through a resource in my school. I was looking for a job. Like, I just had my daughter, and I was looking for a job because I was like, I need to pay for stuff. And my mom was like, oh, you gotta pay your medical bills. And I was like, how you expect me to pay my medical bills if I don't have no job? So I need to get a job. And she was like, no, don't get a job. But I'm like, you just said I gotta pay for some bills, so how am I supposed to pay the bills without no jobs? You gonna pay the bills? And she was like, no, I'm not gonna pay the bills. So I was like, I'm gonna get a job. So she didn't really want me to get a job. My father, he didn't care. So, but I got a job anyway, because I'm like, I'm not going to let these bills haunt me and go into collection and shit like that. I'm going to pay it off. So that's why I got a job, because I was like, okay, I need to pay for these bills. So I went to the interview after school. Like, okay, I had like a half a day for my school, like every single day, because I had a child. So I fixed my schedule up so that I only had 2 classes. So I got there late and I left early. So not audition, the interview. So when I walked in there, it looked like a cool place. I'm instantly greeted by people. It was kind of weird because like the little secretary, she was kind of like weird, and she acted like she didn't know what she was doing, but whatever. I'll go in there, we're waiting. It's me and this other white lady, and we're just waiting. She's trying to make conversation with me. I'm trying to be polite as usual, making conversation, and finally the 2 people who are going to interview us come in. So both of their names was the same name, so I'm gonna name them, what's the old granny name? Leslie. So both of their names was Leslie, and they were saying how they are basically both the boss. And at first that confused me. I'm like, how? Like, I don't understand why they're 2 bosses. But the first Leslie M, was talking about she was in charge of so-and-so, and Leslie D was in charge of so-and-so. So basically it was a child care center. And when I was in high school, I took a child development course, and I got all my stuff out of the way so that I can get a certificate. So it'd be like an easy job for me, because it's just children. I love children. I have a child. So they're asking questions, I'm asking questions, I'm answering it. I was getting a good vibe from both of them. Like, I initially thought they were both good people, and I liked them and they were cool, blah blah blah. So like, it wasn't even a day later, I think it was, but they're like, oh, you've been hired, you gotta come in and do this paperwork, blah blah blah. So I go in, and I'm meeting with the HR person, and she didn't know what the fuck she was doing either. She was talking about my passport is motherfucking expired. Bitch, my passport was not expired. She didn't know how to fucking read. You hire and dumb people, but that's your company. Cool. So yeah, and I'm just signing the papers, and all the paperwork was done. Not even a day later, they were like, oh, can you come into work? It was like the same day. Like, they didn't give me no type of heads up. They didn't tell me no type of scheduling or nothing like that. They were like, oh, can you come to work? And I was like, no, I'm watching my daughter. Y'all should have told me ahead of time. But I was like, I can start the next day. Only getting paid $12.21 an hour, bitch. What the fuck is that? So I go up in there, and I have to go and meet one of the bosses, and okay, so my camera died, so I'm using my phone, so excuse the quality, or if the quality's good or whatever, I don't know. So where I left off was, I was basically told that I was going to be on call, because that's what a substitute is. When the teacher is down, they sub you in and shit like that, and you get paid for that day. The fuck is that, bitch? Anyway, so I'm in the same classroom as I was supposed to be in, like, when I interviewed. Shush! When I interviewed in, so I basically knew those people. So, but that room was full because you're not really supposed to have a lot of teachers, even though there was a lot of kids. There was like 20 kids in that class, and it was like 3 adults, teachers, whatever you want to call it, and then plus me, it was 4 of us. So, and there was other classrooms that needed actually more help and shit like that, so I didn't really understand why they felt the need to put me in that classroom when there was other classrooms that were struggling. And I thought that I was just going to be in that classroom for the day because I was a sub, so I'll be bouncing from classroom to classroom since there was other classrooms that needed more people. That's what I thought, because they were pretty much covered and shit like that. And Mabel was the head teacher, so she was pretty stern and strict, and she knew what the fuck she was doing. So I didn't think that I was going to be in that classroom permanently, that and learn people's names and stuff like that. But then I guess Mabel told the bosses, Mabel and the bosses, what I call them Leslies. So Mabel and the Leslies, they were like this. They were close because they all some old bitches or whatever. And they were, they were tight. Like, they knew each other by first name and they knew each other's background, all that shit. So Mabel told the Leslies that she wanted me to be in her classroom permanently, even though she didn't need it because it was already 2 other aides in that class. I go talk to one of the Leslies and I was like, so I'm on call, right? Like, and she was like, who told you that? I was like, y'all told me that. Like, that's what a substitute is. Like let me just tell y'all this. Nobody knew what the fuck my job description was. This is how unorganized this place was. Like, nobody knew what the fuck I was supposed to do. Only me. I knew that I was a substitute, so I didn't have to be there technically. I just wanted to be there because I was like, if I'm there, I don't have nothing to do anyway. I can get more money. But these people thought, I'm like, they're making me do things that's in a teacher's aide description, and I'm not getting paid teacher's aide money. I'm not getting paid teacher's money. Like they just were so unorganized. And my manager, she would get people to spy on me and report back to her and tell her different shit about me. Like, I was like this other old bitch. And like when I changed to full-time, it was me and this other old bitch that was there early in the morning. So I was kind of confused about this because I'm like, shouldn't a main teacher be there early in the morning to greet students and her kids and the children? But no, it was me. I had to be there to check everybody in by myself, so I had to act like the fucking lead teacher, which I didn't fucking understand because I've been in daycare before, I've been in school, and I'm like, the main teacher is always there present to, you know what I'm saying, but people got to choose which time they came in and what time they leave and shit. So it was me and this other old bitch that my manager, or what I call her, Mabel, knew, and she would basically report back to Mabel about things that I'm doing. And she told her, like, one time, like, this was what really made me fucking mad and like kind of be iffy about this place, is because she told Mabel that I didn't do anything in the morning. I just sat down and talked to the kids. I didn't go get the snacks. I didn't go do this, that. And I'm like, well, she never spoke up and told me to go get the snacks. I'm new, mind you, nobody trained me. I was supposed to be in training and nobody trained me. They just basically told me to work, and I'm not knowing what the fuck to do, and you have a problem and you're not addressing it to me. And I told Mabel, I'm like, she has a problem but she's not addressing it to me. And I was like, I find that kind of rude, because I'm like, if you have a problem, if you want me to do something, go say that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm entertaining the kids, I'm talking to the kids because I want to know them better, and you're supposed to be watching them. Like, she's mad because I'm not, like, I didn't understand that. And so basically when she told me, I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, that really got me so heated up because the manager was trying to question me, talking about you gotta do stuff. I'm like, you're not even here to, you know what I'm saying? You're not even here in the morning, so what are you talking about? I gotta do this. Like, you're not here to witness stuff on your fucking self. Like, I'm doing what I got to do. Because that's what the old bitch wanted to do anyway. Like, she didn't want to do anything. She just wanted to stay inside and talk to the other teachers that would come in and just talk to other people, because they all knew each other and nobody knew me. So I'm basically doing everything. I have to wash the kids. I have to go get the snack. I have to bring the snack back and cook the snack. I gotta do morning circle. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And all she's doing is sitting down talking to other people. The kids running around putting shit in their mouth and nobody's paying attention but me. And mind you, I gotta go get the snack and shit. Like, that's what I didn't understand. I'm like, I'm watching the kids, but you're telling me to do all this stuff and you're not even doing anything your damn self. But it's because I'm young, So that's the shit that kind of rubbed me the wrong way about Mabel having people to spy on me and do shit like that. And eventually that lady left, and I was like, okay, I didn't really give a fuck about her anyway. Like, the fuck, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to just do my job and care about these kids. Like, nobody's watching these kids. Time, like, Like, me and Mabel would kind of bump heads sometimes because she had like a problem with like speaking, like her first language is Spanish, so some of the shit that she would say I would not understand because it wasn't correct English. And then she would have me write the newsletters, like type up a full page essay and shit for the parents to read and stuff, and she would try to correct me on my grammar like I didn't just graduate high school. Bitch, I got A's in English class. What did you get? I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, don't try to correct me on my grammar, bitch. I know how to fucking speak, bitch. So yeah, and then there was one time where Mabel was like, oh, like it was me and the one of the assistant teachers, and we were talking, and we were like, oh, I was like, I saw that she wants to get worms for one of these like stupid little activities for the kids. And I was like, well, I'm not getting worms. And the assistant teacher was like, I'm not getting worms either. And so it was like, oh, did you get the worms? She came to me. Like, she didn't come to nobody else. Like, I really felt like I was being targeted in that fucking place because I was the youngest and shit like that, and I was new. And so she came talking to me, talking about some, did you get the worms? I was like, no, worms, ew, like the fuck. And I said that shit. I was like, ew. And she was like, I was like, you can't. She was like, you can't say ew. That means you don't want to be a teacher. If it's something that you gotta get, you have to get it. Blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't like bugs. I'm not touching bugs. The fuck. And so she got an attitude. She was like, and then she started talking about me in front of my face to the other assistant teacher. And I'm looking at her like, the fuck, because the other assistant teacher was like, I'm not picking no worms either. And so eventually she went out and just got it, because like she was talking about, she was like, yeah, I'm telling you guys to get this stuff, and she's talking about ew, worms, blah blah blah. And then she was like, you know, that means, she was like, that means, that tells me that you don't really want to be a teacher. I was like, I never said I wanted to be a teacher. Who said I wanted to be a teacher? I'm just here to fucking pay for these bills. I never said I wanted to be a teacher. I don't want to be a teacher. Like, these people was taking this job way too seriously. I'm like, this is all that you have. At the time, I was 17 years old. I can be anything. I can do anything that I want to do. This is not the only hope for me. This is not the only job that I can get. These old, crusty, dusty ass bitches, that's the only shit that they have for their life. That's the only thing they look forward to. And I was just, at this point, I was just so livid. I was so irritated because I'm like, the fuck, like, I shit that rubbed me the fucking wrong way in this fucking facility. Like, other teachers, it was just basically people being petty in the workplace. And I really felt like I was back in high school, and I'm like, I can't beat these bitches up because, you know, I'm in a workplace and I'm not trying to lose my job. One of the Leslies. And I'm like, okay, so it was me and the ungrateful ass bitch that was in my story time. You know, I hooked her up with a job. I basically told these people that, yeah, I know her, you know, she's good with kids, you know, hire her and shit. I basically put her onto a good job because she was working at motherfucking Chick-fil-A that was paying what, and I was like, you'll get more money with this. So I was like, you know, I basically put her onto a fucking job. And you know, it was a snowstorm, and I was like, oh, because I was still focusing, like, you know, they were like 2 hours delay, so I'm like 2 hours from when I come in and shit like that. And she was like, and ungrateful ass bitch, she was like, no, I think you're supposed to come in on this time. And I was like, well, I came in at this time the last time and nobody said nothing to me. And I was like, so I'm gonna just come in on this time. And so it's the next day or whatever, and my phone is being blown up by one of the Leslies, and her phone is being blown up by the Leslie, talking about some, where are you at, you know, you're supposed to be here. Mind you, nobody told me the fucking snow cold, like the delays and stuff like that. Like I'm saying, like, she, like, one of the Leslies that was talking told the ungrateful ass bitch that shit. She never told me anything. So it was like, the ungrateful ass bitch was being trained and shit on specific types and rules and regulatories, but I was never told that mine, and I was working there before the ungrateful ass bitch. So I'm like, you know, she's like, where are you guys? I'm like, I'm coming. And she's like, you're supposed to be here, blah 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 blah. And so I'm like, okay, I'm coming. The fuck. And so I got there, and I'm like, I have to get my daughter ready and shit. I don't have time for all this dumbass shit. And it's like, y'all pressing me, and I'm a whole fucking sub over here. Like, don't fucking press me out like that shit. Like, I was already in a fucking bad mood, and she put me in a badder mood. And so I'm walking, you know, I didn't even greet her and nothing like that. I'm just going to my classroom, and everybody's looking at me crazy, and I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? And so I'm just, you know, doing my job, talking to the kids, this, that, and other. And mind you, all the other teachers, they came in all late and shit, but you pressing me, the fuck? So I get a phone call, like, you know, they have phones in the classroom. I get a phone call, oh, Tamia, go see Leslie. So I go into her office and she's like, what happened today? And I was like, what you mean? She's like, what happened this morning? Why weren't you here? And I was like, because it was a 2-hour delay, and I thought that it was a 2 hours delay, like, from the time that I come here. Like, I normally get there at like, I normally get there at 8, so 2 hours delay, you know what I'm saying? No, I normally get there like 9 or some shit. I don't know when I got there. 8:30. I had to be there at 8:30. So I was like, oh, 2 hours from 8:30. And she was like, but I told the ungrateful ass bitch that you're supposed to be here at that time. So why didn't you come here at that time? And she was like, and then basically the ungrateful ass bitch threw me under the bus, and she was like, yeah, she said that she told you that you had to be here at this time. So why weren't you here? I'm just confused. Like, why weren't you here? Like, she was literally saying that shit like to me like that, like I'm stupid. And I was like, well, you never told me that to my face. She's like, but I told the ungrateful ass bitch. And I was like, but you didn't tell me that. And I'm like, she's new here. I was here before her, so you should have told me that. You should have made, I'm like, and she's like trying to make it my fault that she didn't tell me the snow policy, the delay policy and shit. I was like, nobody told me that. And she's like, I'm just trying to figure out what didn't click in your head to pick up the phone and call me and tell me that. And I'm like, you never told me when the delay was. And so like this point I'm getting heated because she's talking to me like I'm stupid and shit. And I'm like trying to explain myself, and she's like, okay, thank you. Like, she fucking dismissed me, and like I'm like, you can see it in my face that I'm getting heated, and like I literally wanted to throw all this shit off her desk. And I'm like, I can't do this because I gotta pay for these bills. So I was like, when she said that, I just walked the fuck out because I was like, I'm not about to slap this old bitch right now. So I literally go into the bathroom and I start crying. When I'm mad, I start crying. So I'm like crying and shit, and I'm trying to fix my face together so that I can go back into the classroom and like continue working. And like, cause I didn't want nobody to see me like that. I felt alone in that fucking place. I didn't have nobody to really talk to, even though the ungrateful bitch was there. She was a fake ass bitch, as y'all see now. So I really felt alone. I didn't have nobody, no place to talk to. It was there, and one of my assistant teachers was like, oh my god, are you okay? I was like, yes, I'm fine. And then the head, Mabel, was like, oh, are you okay? Or what's wrong? What did she say? And so like, I basically just started breaking down because I'm like, I can't take this shit no more. And like, they were like, you know, comforting me and shit like that, and patting me. And you know, Mabel's an old ass bitch, so she's giving me a fucking speech. And like, you know, she was like, yeah, the Leslies, they make me cry too, da da da. But that was just one thing that really pissed me off, because I'm like, don't talk to me like I'm stupid. And like, this Leslie, like, her personality changed from when she interviewed me. And I feel like that's how they trap people into getting into that job, because they are so nice and stuff like that. And then once you go in there, the bitch twists and turns on you and shit like that. Like, I literally asked everybody like, what the fuck is her deal? And everybody was like, oh, she doesn't know how to talk to employees, she doesn't know how to do this, that, and the other. But she's so fake around the other Leslie, and she's so fake around parents. So it's like, you know, I don't fucking know. And so then there was another time where this boy, I loved him too, and he had to go to school, and I'm doing my job. No, I'm gonna tell you another little short one. So I came to my job with some slides on, you know, I want to do some slides. And then when I would wear like some capri pants or like some capri short pants that had rips in it, all the old people, oh, you're not supposed to wear that, oh, you're not, that's not proper etiquette, oh, you're not supposed to dress like that, even though we didn't have no fucking dress code. And I'm like, all these people is telling me I'm not supposed to wear this, I'm not supposed to wear that, but the motherfucking boss, like, everybody wanted to be the fucking boss in the fucking place, came in with some slides. And one of the Leslies, the nicer Leslie, came in and was like, oh, you're not supposed to wear open-toed shoes, even though I had socks on underneath. Oh, you're not supposed to wear open-toed shoes. Mind you, I've been there for at least 15, 20, 30 minutes. I've been there doing my job and shit like that easily. Oh, you're not supposed to wear open-toed shoes. Can you like go home and change? And it's like, and they knew I didn't drive, I'm not taking the fucking bus, and how you know that I live close here? Because I was gonna lie and say I didn't live close here, so if I go home, I'm gonna stay the fuck home. But no, I wanted to get some more money. And like, don't ever do this. This is a mistake that I do. Don't ever do anything you don't want to do for fucking money, period, bitch. Don't do it. So I went home, my mom was home, I was telling her about this shit, and I changed my shoes and I go back the fuck to work. You know, I'm using Uber. So that's fucking money, like, out of my pocket more. Straw happened when I came to work all happy, and then Leslie was like, oh, come to my office. and she was like, did you take so-and-so training? I was like, what is that? And she's like, no, you didn't, because if you took it, you wouldn't have to been like, what is that? And I'm like, okay, you didn't have to be all smart about that shit. Like, you could have said, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. Like, this bitch was real, like, she had a real fucking problem. She did not know how to talk to people, and like, I did not like that shit about her. And she was like, so basically, if you miss a training, you're not even supposed to be here. You're basically terminated. Like, you're not even supposed to be here. It's against the policy. So I'm like, okay. She's like, that's all. Like, dismissing me again. So I'm like, okay. And she didn't tell me to go home or anything. She's just like, that's all. So I went back to the classroom confused as fuck, and I told Mabel and the other assistant teacher, and they were like, oh yeah, this, that, and the other. They send out reminders of trainings and names of people that, oh, you're supposed to do this training, you're supposed to do that training, but my name wasn't on it. My name wasn't on it. Out of the whole people that worked there, wasn't on it. And then I'm like, and then I'll go to the other Leslie, and I'm like, my name wasn't on that list. And she was like, oh, we don't have to remind you. That's in your contract. You're supposed to remember that. I'm like, if you don't have to remind us, then why are you sending why are you sending monthly reminders with a list of training and people's names on it, you know, every single month? They just didn't want to own up to the motherfucking fact that they forgot to put my name on the list. Like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, how am I supposed to keep on contract with what I'm supposed to be doing? And it's like, that's not fair. Like, you giving people monthly reminders, but you leave my name off, and then you saying, oh, I missed this training, oh, I'm not supposed to be here, I'm terminated. I'm like, that makes no fucking sense. Like, they never wanted to own up to the shit that they did. So I'm trying to, like, you know, I was in it, you know, I was trying to do the training there, and they're like, oh no, we can't get to it, you gotta go to the people, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, so I'm asking her clear as day. I'm like, so am I supposed to come to work tomorrow? And the lady was like, Leslie was like, it's our policy, you can't come back until you take the training, it's our policy. She's not giving me a yes or no fucking answer. I'm like, so I'm not supposed to come tomorrow? Like, I'm supposed to go to do the training? She's like, I mean, like, it's our policy. So I'm like, okay, I'll take that shit as I'm not supposed to come back until, you know, I do the training. And it was like, if you miss the training, you're terminated and shit like that. And like, it was just so fucking confusing, because it's like, do I have a job or not, bitch? Do I have a job or not? Like, nobody had the fucking clear day. So I'm like, nobody know what the fuck to do. Like, one Leslie's telling me to do this, the other Leslie's telling me to do that. I'm like, oh, y'all can't come up with the conclusion y'all motherfucking self. I fucking quit, bitch. I'm out this bitch. So the next day came, and I didn't go to no fucking training. I didn't wake up in the morning. I didn't go back to work. Bitch, I was in my bed comfortable as fuck, and I get fucking a text message from the mean Leslie, and she was like, where are you? Are you coming to work today? And I was like, what you mean? I was like, no, I'm not coming to work today. I'm supposed to do the fucking training. If I don't do the training, I'm not supposed to come back to work. That's what I was told. And she was like, no, I told you that you can come to work and we can do the training here. I was like, you never did say that shit. She left before I could even ask her the fucking shit. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you're telling me this thing, and the other Leslie's telling me the other thing. So I was like, I'm gonna make it clear for y'all. I ain't coming the fuck back, because y'all don't know what the fuck y'all do. I'm like, y'all unorganized as fuck, and I'm not about to do this shit no fucking more. And so I basically told her that shit through text, and she was like, can you call me? She was like, please, you're our best. We don't want you to do this. Please think about your actions before you make this move. And like, basically trying to threaten me, saying, oh, if I make this move, I'm nothing. I'm not gonna be nothing. Bitch, I am 17. Well, at the time, I'm 18. I have millions of things to do for my fucking self, bitch. This is not the only shit I'm gonna have, bitch. This is the only shit you gonna have. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna call you. I don't fucking like you. I'm not gonna talk to you. I don't gotta respect you no more, because you're not my fucking boss. Fuck you. So the other Leslie calls me, and she leaves me a fucking voicemail, and she was like, get your facts straight before you make this decision. Please know all the truth, this, that, and the other. And I tried to call her back, but the voicemail went off, because I was going the fuck off. So I sent her my motherfucking email on all this shit, and I was like, I'm spilling the tea on this bitch. I was like, I don't like how she talks to me. She talks to me like I'm stupid. She think I'm not with this shit, like I won't smack her old ass. And I was like, y'all just unorganized as fuck. Y'all act like y'all treat y'all y'all employees with respect, and y'all fucking don't. This bitch be acting like this when you're not fucking around, and I don't like it. Everybody sees that shit, but nobody want to speak up because they need that fucking check. I don't need this fucking job, bitch. Y'all need me. Like, it was like, y'all didn't even know my fucking job description, bitch. Y'all telling me to do all this shit and I'm not getting paid for all that shit. I'm only getting paid 12 fucking motherfucking 21, bitch. What the fuck is that? And y'all telling me to do shit that is what a teacher would do? Like, no, bitch. Y'all fucking taking advantage of me, and I don't like that shit. Nobody taking advantage of me of no more. Period, bitch. Nobody taking me advantage. And she was like, I'm so sorry that you went through this. You should have spoke up and told me. I was like, no, bitch, because I don't got time for this shit. Like, the fuck, like, why you, like, everybody sees that shit, everybody says that shit, everybody talk about this bitch behind their back, but I should have spoke up. These bitches is fucking scary as fuck, and I'm not going to participate or be in the no type of establishment that practice these practices. Like, if you do not treat people with respect, I'm out that bitch. Because if you give me some fucking attitude, I'm gonna give you attitude right the fuck back. I don't give a fuck if you my boss or not. Bitch, fire me. I dare you. She was never gonna fucking fire me if I gave her fucking, you know, because I gave her attitude back like she was giving me. Like, I'm gonna match your vibe, sis. I'm gonna match your vibe. And she would not fucking, she would never fucking fire me, bitch, because they was fucking short-staffed. That's why, oh, please come in, let's talk about this face to face. I said, bitch, I don't want to talk to you in face to face. I said what I said, now what? I'm out. And I never did come back. They sent me my little pay, whatever, for that day that I was there, and I was like, I'm out that bitch. And that's when I started my own fucking hairline and shit, bitch. And that's when I started YouTube, because I was like, I'm not gonna stay at home and do nothing, bitch. I'm gonna do this shit. So yeah, this story time was so fucking annoying. Just please be careful out there when you get a job, and don't let people talk to you any type of way because they feel like they're in charge of you and shit like that. And don't like take shit from people just because you're getting paid for it, because at the end of the day, your mental health and everything matters more than a fucking check. Period. And it's like, I can tell you, I was real fucking sad when I was working there. I missed my daughter. I missed everything. Oh, and another thing, they try to tell me I couldn't take off to take my daughter to work. I mean, take my daughter to the doctors. They was like, oh, that makes it seem like you don't want to be here. Bitch, I don't want to be here. I want to take my daughter to the fucking doctor. Duh, I just said that shit. But yeah. If you guys like story times like this, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Mwah.